Welcome to today's live stream, and this is Simeon Ambergy, and I am so glad to be able to come to you once again with a brand new live stream. We've been doing so many recently on piano libraries, and today I wanted to take a look at, I guess you could say that this is the very beginning, I guess, or the years ago, I guess you would say, when piano libraries were just a dream or something that we could only imagine, because our memory for keyboards was so limited. And when you take a look back at the history of digital keyboards and sampling, this was just unheard of, to be able to think that today we can have, like what we saw in some previous live streams and reviews, piano libraries that were in the hundreds of gigabytes of sample material. So today we're going to take a look at Synthogy's Ivory. And Ivory was developed by Joe Iardi, and I apologize for mispronouncing that, Iardi. And he worked with the Kurzweil. And I did a review on the website, and I'll post the link here so you can kind of get some more ideas about some of the history behind how Ivory came to be. And the first, when I look at some of the interviews, the first sampled library only had 1 megabyte of sample memory available. Instead of 200 gigabytes or more, it was limited to 1 megabyte of sample memory. And so they had to really work at getting a balance with, it's just incredible. So today we're going to look at the latest version of Ivory, and this is version 2.5. And this is the Ivory II Grand Pianos. And we're going to go through and look at the interface and play some sounds, of course, and have some fun. We're going to have some fun here near the end of this review. So let's just take a look at the interface here. So, and this is not like a contact library. The Synthogy has created their own custom engine, because there are so many things that they do that they've learned how to get the layers and response and all of that. It's all just from years of like digital signal processing and synthesis and sampling that they've packed all into this player. So it comes in its own player. You have VST, and you can work on Mac and PC. There's a standalone version for the PC that uses a special version of Cantabile, and then the Mac version has its own standalone. But let's just take a look. So this is the main screen of Ivory, and you notice that you have some resonance, some sympathetic resonance, different soundboard modeling. You have just all kinds of different EQs, release effects, key noises, timbre, and we're going to look into those. And this is your session page. Your session page lets you set up the MIDI channels and that kind of thing. Your tuning, how many voices you want to allocate, and then we can go all the way up to 1,000 voice allocations. And so you've got to play with these things to get the balance of your PC performance and the performance of the sample library. So honestly, I'm going to bump this up to 64, and we're going to find out. And I've got the chat over here, so I'm going to be looking over there and every once in a while. And if you've got some questions, just go ahead and post it in the chat, and I'll try to answer those when we can. So you can have different session presets according to what kind of keyboard you have and that type of thing. Pitch, you can tune the pitch. tuning tables, and it has half pedaling. So if you have a pedal controller that transmits those half pedals, I know I'm talking a bit, but we're just going to get into the playing here in just a minute. And then the effects section, you've got equalizers, ambience, reverbs, man, and a chorus even. And so just general preferences. We're running the VST, and then just all kinds of things. You can have different mappings for controllers, MIDI volume, expression, and the synth layer, which is interesting. We'll get onto that. And so let us dive in to this beautiful instrument. And I tell you, one of the things that sets it apart is how it plays and the response. So we'll go and select a program. So we'll go through the preset. And this is Ivory II Grand Pianos. You notice I have American Concert D, and we might take a look at that near the end. But the Grand Pianos package comes with 3 pianos. You have a Bosendorfer, a German Steinway D, and then a Studio 7-foot, which is based on a Yamaha C7. So let's just jump into the Bosendorfer, and we're going to just do this. Let's do this. So you have 16 levels. So that means you've got 16 different velocity layers. And level 2 means that it favors the velocity switching toward more of the softer notes. So that way, if your song, one is a little bit softer, then you would want to use the level 2. So let's just go ahead and pop in the first preset here, the 290 Grand. And like I said in some earlier reviews, ooh. Yeah, so the Bosendorfer was a favorite of Oscar Peterson, and man, fabulous. Oh, fabulous. So what I mentioned about another piano library, you hear that body, you hear just that bite. See, the Bosendorfer seems like it has a body, but it has just a little edge to it. And I'm gonna just kind of mess around. I'm gonna mute the mic so you can just hear the piano. And before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and go into the session page, and I'm going to adjust the velocity scaling. And I'm going to see something here. We're going to see, and see this keyboard, this Studio Logic has more of a hard, it's got a little harder action to it. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to just slope that. My velocity curves, I like to have that slope. Let's go to a medium slope. Okay, here we go. Yes. Well, that's okay. We can calibrate it, but let's not do that. Let's go back and play some more. Here we go. Yeah, so this will be a lot better, so to get a lot more response. And that's the key to, that's what you love. It doesn't matter how many layers or samples you have, it's the response. And that's one thing that Ivory does well, is it takes it and allows you to just respond. So yeah, you hear the difference in this. Yeah, you hear that response. And you can close the lid. Let's just okay, so that's a full stick. hear just the boom. Just that richness of that low end is what makes that Bosendorfer just shine. And that's full stick. Let's close the lid. Let's close the lid. And you hear how the sound instantly just changes character. Sometimes you want it to close to have just an intimate sound and the flap open. So this is with the lid closed and then the front flap just kind of open. Let's listen to that. And let's just kind of play around with the shimmer control. It just adds a little extra harmonics and things. And let's open the lid. I like the lid open with the full stick. Yeah, and you just hear how it... Let's kind of play with these a little bit. Yeah. You just hear different tones. And then you have a stereo width here, so you can make it, we can just pull it in. Yeah, to almost just perfect. Just like a mono type of sound, or you can just throw it all the way around. And just spread it out there. Isn't that cool? That's beautiful. All right, so let's just go to another Imperial Dry. And just let this load here. Yeah, are we ready? That's pretty beautiful. And let's put some reverb on there. Let's just put some nice ambience on there. So it's in a studio now. So let's put it in a concert hall. And okay, let's see. On. Yeah. So we were just listening to this dry without any effects. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the Bosendorfer Dry, and I dry with a little effects here. Okay, concert Bosendorfer. So these just use different types of treatments and that kind of thing. Yeah. What I just want you to just hear is just that responsiveness. So just listen to the that's the key, is to get that responsiveness so you can play it soft. It plays soft with you, or you just lay into it. Okay, let's go on to one of the other pianos. Let's just go to the 7, and because you go from the Bosendorfer to the C7, based on a Yamaha C7, I can say that. And the 7, if you've played a C7 before, you'll know right away. Just the bite and the cut through. The C7s really can cut through a mix, and that's the beauty of it. So let's just take a listen to the Studio C7 Grand and the effects. We've got a studio reverb on. We've got some little low shelf here and a little EQ in here as well. So let's take a listen. Yeah, you hear that? Yeah. So man, it just grabs you. And you can play it soft, you know. Like I said, like I always say, you never know where these pianos are going to take you, or the libraries, or. Okay, let's look at another preset using the Studio 7. Bright. Okay, just the dry. Just take a listen to some of the dry. Very cool. Okay, so one of the cool things with the Ivory is the synth layer, and let's turn that on. And so you've got a warm. Let's check that out. The warm PCM. Yeah. It just gives you some neat textures. see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Beautiful. Got an analog string pad. Yeah. 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 Cool. Yes, it does. It needs an iLok, and that's one of the ways that they copy protect it at this time, and but you know, I haven't had a problem with. I've got. Let's see. Well, you know, there like I said before, like with the differences in piano libraries and things, it's like it's just different. It's just different personalities, and it's just like what you can afford and what you have access to. The thing is, with a lot of the contact libraries, you have to have contact along with that, so that's like a separate purchase. If you've already have contact, then you know, I'm not sure if it has the iLok cloud or not, but that's something we can check on. Yeah, I'm not real sure, but I can check into it and I can put it down in the comments below. But since the engine has its own, it doesn't require a separate engine. They're using their own engine. Then you don't have to have a separate purchase. So that's one of the benefits. If you don't have a sample library right now, then you know, something that has its own engine, self-contained, is pretty good to start with. And right now through March they're doing $100 off. So the Piano 2 Ivory II Grand Pianos is $249 instead of $349, which is really good, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of Steinberg products as well, and so sometimes I have like a little hub that I'll just plug it in, and I know a lot of I have a lot of libraries and things, and so a lot of companies, even like Steinberg's going to the license cloud, and I think that iLok is going that direction as well, because it just makes sense. It makes sense to kind of get away from the dongles, and I totally agree with you. And thanks so much. I really enjoy playing and sharing this stuff with you guys. It's a lot of fun for me. So let's go back and so the Studio 7 Grand, and let's just check out one more. Let's do the Hall. I like to hear what these sound like, and I'm double clicking on those, and it kind of automatically loads for you here. So let's just take a listen. I'm going to mute the mic as well. I always try to mute the mic because I don't like to hear so you can hear exactly what you need to be hearing. Here we go. And hear that decay. And let's just adjust that some. Let's just adjust the size. And I also am going to leave some links so you can kind of get some more history about it. I'm going to leave my review. I'm going to leave an interview with Joe Iardi as well, and just so you can find out some more about this fabulous instrument. So Joe Iardi was the gentleman behind the Kurzweil piano, the original Kurzweil 2000 piano. So that's like the 1 megabyte, and so it's just amazing. Here we are sitting with this massive instrument, and I'm running this off of an SSD, and so you've got to have a fast. The faster, the better. Okay. You know, processing and, you know, transferring memory. I've got 64 gigs of memory in this system here that I'm running. So you've got some presets named after, I think this one probably named after Keith Jarrett, which is a, you know, fabulous. Yeah, you hear that? You hear those dynamics. You hear those dynamics there. Okay, so let's go into the German D. And so this is just the default German concert D. So here we go. This also has a beautiful set of release samples as well. And what I hear myself, that the German D sits somewhere between the Bosendorfer and the Yamaha as far as the dynamics and the timbre, the bite that it has. I'm like, here we go again. It's just like, it just takes you somewhere. It takes you somewhere. I hope you guys are enjoying watching, and you know, just so thanks for all the support. And if it's your first time catching a stream, a live stream, or just go ahead and subscribe. Yeah. Okay, so oh, I just love this. I love being able to share. And there's just so many different presets with EQs and that kind of thing that kind of just... And then you have the stereo perspective where you can switch it to performer, where it's at your position, or you can switch it to the audience perspective. that's pretty fun. And so sometimes, you know, when you're playing, you know, you want it to be at the audience perspective, because in a mix, that's where you want that piano to sit, not necessarily hearing it at where you're sitting there and hearing it as you were sitting behind the piano, but where the audience is listening from, and that's where that comes in. And so one thing that I always do is, like, when I'm tracking, I'll probably have it at the performer situation there. And then when I render the track, then I'll switch it to maybe the audience perspective. And so I'll have an audio of that to put in the mix. And sometimes I'll bounce another audio with the performer perspective as well. So anytime you can get the most mileage out of your CPU by reducing voice sizes and that kind of thing, then that's what you would do. And then when you render your tracks, then bump up those voice counts and all of those other fun, frilly things. So when you bounce it, you're not going to have an impact on your performance. Yeah, that's so cool. Well, I do make like remote sessions like this where I can, I could put a track down on, something that you have and send you the WAV files and that kind of thing, and we can just kind of work remotely, and that would be kind of cool. And yeah, so it's time to have some fun. Let's just have a little bit of fun here. And one thing that I heard, let me see, it's the jazz D. Now, where is that? The Intimate Club. Yeah. So this here, when I started playing this, see, it just has that nice it just has just that nice, almost like a smoky sound. And when I started playing it, it's like, sounds trigger memories, and and someone had kind of explained to me it's kind of like an amnesia type of thing, where you store memories, and you'll hear something and it'll bring it all back. It's almost like in Ratatouille, where ego takes a bite and it flashes back all the way. So it's the same thing with me. When I hear something, it takes me right back into that moment. And so when I was going through these sounds, I started playing this. And I said, I've heard this before. And then it's just like, okay, that's take five. That's take five. It's a Dave Brubeck song, and I watched a video on this a long time ago. But when I heard this sound, it was like, especially the American D, and I think that's what I'm going to switch to, so you can kind of get a sample of that. And also you'll get to hear the difference in like the German D and the American D. Now the American D is a separate product, but while we're here, let's just do it. And I'll just do a default run through. I'll have my email in the description as well, but you can always reach me at praisetracks@gmail.com. Praisetracks@gmail.com if you have any questions or that kind of thing. Yeah, you hear. Now this is the American concert D. Now they have 20. We have 20. We have 20 key sample layers here. So yeah, it's just crazy. And that's what makes Ivory. I think because of the years of developing this, they know how to transition those layers. But when I first started playing the American D, it just brought that back. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun with this. And I actually found I found the video of the Dave Brubeck trio, and I kind of was messing around, playing around with it, and I just couldn't get the feel of the drums, so I just took a little snippet of the drums, and kind of looped that around. And so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of play and just kind of have some fun. So so here we go. Oh man, and you know, just hold on, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen here. But all I know is that we're gonna have some fun here. Okay, so let's see if we can get this started. Oh, well, let me make sure I've got a good preset. So let's go to the live jazz. Well, let me just take a listen to see what the difference is. So that's kind of in a small setting, and a concert jazz. Concert jazz. Yeah, so that's got a little bigger room. Let's just take the size down a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, because you've got so many different. Let's just do the jazz club. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're gonna have some fun. I'm going to try to have some fun here. Here we go. Let's take 5. Let's take 5. Here we go. Wow. 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 Oh man. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining me on this ride. And you know, like I say all the time, I never really know when I'm going to do these. So you know, so if you're subscribing, and yeah, I want you to subscribe, and so you can kind of keep track of what's going on, all this crazy stuff. But once again, this is the Synthogy Ivory II Grand Pianos that features the Bosendorfer, the German D, and the Concert 7, which are fabulous, just fabulous. The way that they've just packed so much into the responsiveness, the sound quality, and man, I'm out of breath here. And just make sure you visit the website, praisetracks.com, and check out the review for some more fun information, and then the links in the description. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll just do my best to point you in the right direction. And it's such a privilege, just such a privilege to come to you. And so until next time, we're just going to take a little more 5 and just head out of here. So we'll see you soon. Just a lot of fun, man. Sweet. You've got to see Al Jarreau's version of Take 5. It's phenomenal.